In this module, we will study about the molecular orbital theory. This theory was developed by Hund, Mulliken and Leonard Jones. About this theory you have learned already even in schools and even at undergraduate level. The basic assumption of this molecular orbital theory is that just as in atoms there are atomic orbitals, similarly in molecules there are molecular orbitals. And then these molecular orbitals are filled in accordance with Hund's rule in the order of increasing energy. But how do we get MOT? How do we get the energy? And how do we get the corresponding wave functions? This is something which we will study today. As we have already discussed in the last module that molecular orbital theory and valence bond theory, these are two approximate approaches to study the electronic structure of molecules. Why do we need these approximate approaches? We need them because the Schrodinger equation for a molecule cannot be solved exactly. Now, if this is an approximate approach, then the question is how do we construct an approximate wave function? That is the first thing which we will study today. In molecular orbital theory, the approximate wave function are the molecular orbitals are constructed by the linear combination of atomic orbitals. Basically, we call it LCAO. For example, if there are n atoms in a molecule, then under LCAO MO approximation, the molecular orbital or the approximate wave function is written as phi A is equal to summation Ci psi I. Now, suppose there are two atoms in a molecule. In that case, this will become phi A is equal to C1 psi 1 plus C2 psi 2. That is how we construct the molecular orbital or the approximate wave function. Once we have constructed molecular orbitals, then the approximate energy is obtained using the variation method, about which we have already discussed in the earlier modules. As you already know that variation method gives us approximate energy EA, which is always greater than or equal to E0. That means for an exact wave function it will be equal to E0, but since our wave function is approximate, therefore this energy will be greater than the exact ground state energy. In this equation, if we substitute the values of the molecular orbitals in terms of LCAO and then we simplify, we get the secular determinant which looks as it is shown here. For a diatomic molecule, it would be H11 minus ES11, then H12 minus ES12, and then the second row is H21 minus EAS21 and H22 minus EAS22. This determinant is equal to 0. If we simplify this secular determinant, then ultimately we get EA, two values of approximate energy we get, EA plus minus, that is equal to H11 plus minus H12 divided by S11 plus minus S12. So that's basically the principle which we will be using in our MO treatment of molecules. Now in this module today, we will study the molecular orbital treatment of hydrogen molecule ion, that is H2 plus. So it has two atoms but only one electron. So the first thing to start with would be how to write the Schrodinger equation for H2 plus. Now as you know that there are two nuclei and one electrons, so the total number of terms in the Hamiltonian would be 6. And the corresponding Hamiltonian for H2 plus would be as it is shown here. H cap is equal to minus h square upon 8 pi square mp del A square minus h square upon 8 pi square mp del B square minus h square upon 8 pi square me del square plus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1a minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon r1b. Here you should notice that capital R is the distance between the two hydrogen atoms, and one hydrogen nucleus is labeled as A and other is labeled as B, and then R1a is the distance of the electron called 1 from the nucleus A, and R1b is the distance of this electron from the nucleus B. So this is the total Hamiltonian of hydrogen molecule ion, and you can see that it contains 6 terms. It has 3 kinetic energy terms and 3 potential energy terms. Now we studied in the last module about Born-Oppenheimer approximation, and using that approximation, as you know, we can consider nuclei to be at rest, and then electrons are moving relative to the nuclei. Now once we do that, then the kinetic energy terms of the nuclei can be neglected, so that now we have a new Hamiltonian which we will call as the electronic Hamiltonian, He cap, which is minus h square upon 8 pi square me del square plus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1a minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1b. So the first term here is the kinetic energy of the electron, whereas second term represents nuclear repulsion term, and the last 2 terms are basically electron nucleus attraction terms. Now for hydrogen molecule ion, this Hamiltonian can be written in 2 ways. One is, as it is shown here, He cap is equal to He cap Ha1. That means when electron 1 is in the vicinity of nucleus A plus x, and then x would be the remaining terms, and you can see the remaining terms are E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1b. So 1b term has been taken out. Similarly, the second way can be that we write electronic Hamiltonian as He cap is equal to He Hb1. That means electron 1 in the vicinity of nucleus B plus y. Here then y is E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1a. So both possibilities exist, and we will be using both of them. And further, please remember that we have already studied hydrogen atom, and using that one can say that when the electronic Hamiltonian basically operates He cap Ha1, which is basically the electronic Hamiltonian of hydrogen atom with electron 1 around nucleus A. When this operates on psi Ha1, we get EH psi Ha1. And similarly, when He cap Hb1 operates on psi Hb1, we get EH multiplied by psi Hb1. So both these equations are valid, and they are nothing else but the equations for the hydrogen atom. Now the question comes that we have to define explicitly the approximate molecular orbital or the wave function. Now, since we have 1 electron and 2 nuclei, therefore this electron in principle can be either in the vicinity of nucleus A or in the vicinity of nucleus B. So let's first guess phi A. phi A will be equal to psi HA1 when the electron 1 is in the vicinity of the nucleus A. And similarly, phi A, which is the approximate molecular orbital or the wave function, will be psi HB1 when electron is in the vicinity of nucleus B. So there can also be intermediate stages where electron is, say, equidistant from both A and B. Then in that case, neither of the above two will be really valid. So in that case, we will take approximate wave function, that is phi A, which we will call as molecular orbital, to be equal to the linear combination of both the above extreme cases. That means phi A MO would be equal to C1 psi HA1 plus C2 psi HB1, and that is the approximate wave function which we use in the molecular orbital theory. In this total approximate wave function, C1 and C2 are the two coefficients which we need to find out. Now, as we discussed earlier, our energy for the system, approximate energy, would be given by H11 plus minus H12 divided by S11 plus minus S12. Now let us look at the term HAA. As you can see here, HAA is the integral d tau psi HA1 HE cap psi HA1. And now if we substitute the expression for electronic Hamiltonian in terms of x, as you can see here we are doing, and then expand it and solve it, ultimately we get two terms, and that is HAA is equal to EH, which comes from the integral d tau psi HA1 which is 1, and then plus Q. Q is an integral which is defined by integral d tau psi HA1 x psi HA1. We will see the detailed form of Q later on. Now look at the term HAB. This, as you can see, is given by the integral d tau psi HA1 HE cap psi HB1. Now here we will use the electronic Hamiltonian in the form as includes EY also. And if we substitute this value of electronic Hamiltonian and then solve this integral, ultimately we get, as you can see here, HAB equals energy of hydrogen atom, that is EH, multiplied by S plus J. S, you can see here, is the overlap integral and is given by the integral d tau psi HA1 psi HB1, and J is an integral which we will study in details later on. Now if we substitute the values of HAA and HAB, and then we notice, as you can see here, we get two values of the energy. One is EA plus, which is given by EH plus Q plus J divided by 1 plus S. And the second energy, which is of antibonding orbital, as we will see later on, that is given by EH plus Q minus J upon 1 minus S. Now let us look at the integral Q, which we earlier found out. Q, as you have already seen, is given by the integral d tau psi HA1 x psi HA1. Now if we substitute the expression for x in this, we get integral d tau psi HA1, then we have E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r minus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1b, and then psi HA1. And now, since if the internuclear distance r is kept constant, then this further gets simplified and we get the first term, which now straightway becomes e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r, because the rest of the integral is normalization condition. And if you look at the second term is now d tau psi ha1 e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r 1b psi ha1. This is denoted by QC and is called Coulomb integral, because this represents electrostatic attraction between nucleus B and an electron in 1s orbital centered on nucleus A. Therefore, now we can see here that our Q becomes equal to e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r plus QC. Similarly, now let's look at the integral J. J, as you have already seen, is given by the integral d tau psi ha1 y psi hb1. Again, we are putting the expression for y and then trying to simplify it. If we simplify it and assume internuclear distance to be constant, as you can see here, the first term here reduces to e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r into s. This s comes the overlap integral, which is the integral, as you have seen here, d tau psi ha1 psi hb1. Whereas the second term, if you look at this, the second term is integral d tau psi ha1 then e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r1a psi hb1. This term we call exchange integral and is denoted by jk, because this integral represents some kind of exchange of electron between nucleus A and nucleus B. And now we can see that finally the integral J becomes equal to e square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r multiplied by s plus jk. If we now substitute these values of Q and J back in our energy expressions, our energy expressions become, as you can see here, EA plus becomes EH plus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R plus QC plus JK divided by 1 plus S. And similarly, we have the expression for EA negative, and that is EH plus E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R plus QC minus JK divided by 1 minus S. So these two energy values get further simplified if we assume S to be equal to 0. Then since Q and J are negative, one can notice from these expressions that the energy EA plus, that is of the bonding molecular orbital, that is less than the energy of the anti-bonding molecular orbital EA negative. Let's now look at the molecular wave function for the hydrogen molecule ion. We have already seen that this is given by the relation C1 psi Ha1 plus C2 psi Hb1. But what are the values of the coefficients? These one can get by the solution of the secular equations as we have done here. And if we solve these equations, there are two possibilities. As you can see here, one possibility is that C1 is equal to C2, and the other possibility is C1 is equal to minus C2. And therefore, the two values of the approximate molecular wave function or the molecular orbital are psi Ha1 plus minus psi Hb1. But now we need to calculate the values of C1 and C2. These values can be calculated using the normalization condition. And as you can see that when we take the additive combination, as we have done here, the value of the coefficient comes out to be 1 upon 2 into 1 plus s under root. And once we take the negative combination and apply the normalization condition, because one thing you should remember, the molecular orbital, whether it is bonding or anti-bonding, they represent wave functions and they must be normalized. So in the case of negative combination, we get the corresponding value of the coefficient, which comes to be equal to 1 upon 2 into 1 minus s under root. And therefore one notices that our two molecular orbitals become, as you can see here, phi a plus molecular orbital is given by 1 upon 2 into 1 plus s under root, and then we have psi Ha1 plus psi Hb1. This corresponds to bonding molecular orbital. And the other is phi a minus, that is anti-bonding molecular orbital, and it's given by 1 upon 2 into 1 minus s under root psi Ha1 minus psi Hb1. So in this module, today we have discussed about the molecular orbital theory, and we have applied molecular orbital theory to the case of hydrogen molecule ion. We found that in the molecular orbital theory, electrons do not belong to any particular bond, but they belong to the whole molecule. And we also noted that molecular orbitals are constructed by the linear combination of atomic orbitals. Using this method, we constructed the molecular wave function for hydrogen molecule ion. And then using variation principle, we calculated the energies of the orbitals. We got two orbitals, one was the bonding and the other was the anti-bonding. And for both of them, we calculated the corresponding energies. In the next module, we will discuss the molecular orbital treatment of the hydrogen molecule.